At some point in your life, probably late at night when you couldn't sleep, you asked yourself a question: what is the point of all this? Why am I here? Why does any of this matter? And then maybe you felt a little embarrassed for thinking about it, pushed it aside, and went back to scrolling. But that question never really goes away, does it? It just waits. And today, I want to actually sit with it. What is the meaning of life? Not in a casual way, but honestly, seriously, because I think most of us are walking around with borrowed answers. Answers we inherited from our families or religion or culture, and we've actually never really stopped to ask whether we actually even believe in them. So let's start with the simplest, most uncomfortable observation. Nobody asked to be here. You did not choose to be born. You did not choose your country, your family, your body, your brain. You arrived into a world that was already running with no instruction manual and no explanation. And then everyone around you started telling you what the point was. And most of us just accepted that. Now, I want to walk through the main answers humanity has come up with because I think it's actually worth knowing what's on the table before you decide what you actually believe in. The biggest and oldest answers actually come from religion themselves, and I want to be fair on this because for most of human history and for billions of people out there alive right now, religion is not just a belief, it is the entire framework through which life makes sense for them. So let's start with Islam. In Quran, God says that He did not create humans and jinn for anything other than to worship Him. But worship in the Islamic tradition is broader than just physical prayer. It is to know yourself and through that come to know your Creator, to live your life in alignment with what God wants, to be his representative on earth, and to treat the world and the people in it with the care that comes with that responsibility. Life here is a test, and what comes after is what really counts. The meaning of this life then is in how you live with that awareness. Whereas in Christianity, the answer is similar but arrives through a different door. The purpose is to love God and to love other people, and the path to that runs through the life and teachings of Jesus. You are created in the image of God, which means you carry something sacred within you. And the point is to live in a way that honors that. In Hinduism, the answer is much more layered. Life has four aims: desire, wealth, duty, and eventually liberation. The goal over many lifetimes is to actually realize that your soul and the soul of the universe are actually the same thing. To break free from the cycle of rebirth by understanding that at the deepest level, you and everything else are one. In Buddhism, the answer starts with a pretty heavy observation. Life, as most of us live it, is suffering, not because life is bad, but because we are constantly grasping for things that don't last and then losing them. The meaning of life is to then follow the eightfold path to cultivate awareness, ethical living, wisdom, and to eventually reach nirvana, which is the end of that cycle of craving and loss. What all of these have in common is that they give life meaning from the outside. There is a cosmic order, a divine plan, a universal truth, and your job is to align with it. The meaning is already there. You just have to find it or fulfill it. Now, this was the major religions. But for a lot of people, that is genuinely enough. It is comforting, it is grounding, and it is not stupid. There is real wisdom in these traditions that has held up across thousands of years. But here's where it gets complicated. What do you do with meaning if you step outside of any of these religious frameworks? What if you look at the universe and just see physics? Stars forming, dying, planets spinning, species evolving, going extinct, and none of it caring about you at all. What then? This is where philosophy starts trying to answer the question without God in the room. The first answer it came up with was nihilism. Nihilism says there is no meaning, not just that we haven't found it yet, but that it does not exist. The universe is indifferent. You are a biological accident. Nothing you do will matter in 100 million years. This sounds bleak, and it is, but nihilism is, and at least has the honesty to say that if there is no God and no cosmic order, then the idea that life has a built in meaning is probably just something we made up to cope. Then came existentialism, and specifically Jean Sartre, who said something that sounds simply, but it's actually really radical. Existence comes before essence, and what does that mean? Most things in the world are made for a purpose. A chair is designed before it exists, a knife is made to cut. The purpose comes first, but you were born first, and the purpose is something you figure out later. There is no blueprint for what a human is supposed to be. So, the meaning of your life is not something you find, it is something you create. You define yourself through your choices, your commitments, your actions. That is both terrifying but incredibly freeing, right? Because it means nobody else can tell you what your life is. And then there's Albert Camus, who I find the most honest of them all. Camus agreed that the universe has no meaning, but he also noticed something that Sartre kind of glossed over. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. We cannot stop looking for meaning. That need is built into us. We wake up every morning and we want things to matter. We love people, we grieve, we care about things, and yet the universe stays completely silent about whether any of it means anything. Camus called this gap the absurd. The absurd is not the universe being meaningless, it is the collision between your desperate need for meaning and the universe's complete refusal to provide one. And then he asked, what do you do with that? He used the story of Sisyphus, a man condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity, only to watch it roll back down every single time. No progress, no end, no point. On the surface, that sounds like the definition of a hell. But Camus said we must imagine Sisyphus happy, not because he is deluded, but because he has made peace with it. He knows the boulder will roll back. He knows there is no finish line and he pushes it anyway. The struggle itself becomes the thing, the living becomes the thing. Camus said the only honest response to the absurd is revolt. Not to pretend there is meaning, not to give up, but to look the meaningless directly in the face and choose to keep going anyway, to love the people in front of you anyway, to find beauty in the moment anyway. Not because the universe owes you a reason, but because you are alive right now and this is what living looks like. That view lands somewhere close to where I am. Honestly, personally, I do not think the universe has a built in answer waiting for me to discover it. I think the need for meaning is real, and the silence of the universe is real, and both things are just true at the same time. And maybe that tension is not a problem to be solved. Maybe it is just the condition of being a conscious human being walking around a universe that does not explain itself. But here is what I keep coming back to. Even if meaning is something we make rather than find, that does not make it fake. The love you feel is real, the grief you feel is real, the moments that took your breath away were real, the fact that you made them matter is the point, not some cosmic plan. You. So, does life have a meaning? I genuinely do not know. And I think anyone who tells you they are completely certain in either direction might be more comfortable with a borrowed answer than an honest one. What I do know is that the question is worth asking, not once and not just when you cannot sleep, but regularly, seriously. Because the way you answer it, even quietly, even tentatively, shapes every single day of how you live. So, what do you think?